17:30 G News on 97. I'm Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up,
shame on you, death. Christ has.
You are running away from us into eternity. That is why.
We absolutely cannot believe we will never see you again.
tears flow as government holds for victims of last week's helicopter crash. The Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces announces new promotions for the military officers who were in the crash.
Promotions in our armed forces are never given lightly, and posthumous promotions are the highest mark of respect for duty performed even unto death.
Slaps 10,000 Ghana Citi on more operators of DSTV on the continuous standoff between the two parties. And later on Eyewitness News to be announced tomorrow, 3% increase on the liter of fuel, that is petrol, while diesel would see some reduction. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many. And in business,
government urged to implement measures as job growth stalls.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi business desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana and across the globe on citinewsroom.com. We are on YouTube and on Facebook as well. If you want to know how Accra, let me give you a list of stations that you can tune to. If you're headed for Dr. Baumia's hometown of Waliwali in the Northeast region, Eagle FM 94.1 is a station you can listen to. If you want to go to Laura, the western north part of the Upper West region, Westlink 88.1 FM is a station you can listen to. In Zwarungu, in the Upper East region, to the eastern side of Bulgaria, on Word 88.3 FM. In the traditional capital of Dagbon, Yendi, you can listen to Dasuma 99.1 FM, that's in northern region. In Hohwe, we are on Heritage 107.3 FM, and we are in Pando on Akwini Radio 96.7 in the Volta region. In Kumasi, we are on Orange 107.9 FM in the Ashanti region. In the Ahafo region, we are in Gosu in the capital on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM. In Sunyani, the capital of the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM. In Takrady, in the western region, we are on Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM. Let's know what you think of the stories we are bringing you tonight on 0549 986 996. We start off with the state funeral that was held for the fallen eight persons who died as a result of a helicopter crash last week in Obuasi, including former defense minister, late former defense minister now, Dr. Edward Omani Bama, former minister for environment now, Honorable Mohammed Murtala Mohammed, deputy national security and former minister of state Muniru Limuna, among others. Now, let's listen to some of the tributes that were read at the Independence Square today, or the Black Star Square today, where the funeral was held before they were interred at the military cemetery at Chado in Accra. Let's listen to the tribute by the wife of the late Dr. Edward Omani Bama. It was read on her behalf. She's Mrs. Rita Omani Bama.
Tribute by the wife of Honorable Dr. Kofi Omani Bama. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well. It is well. It is well with my soul. Kofi B, as I affectionately called you, with my soul. Kofi B, as I affectionately called you, we were destined to be together. Though I was not a medical student, fate brought us together on that fateful day when we boarded the medical school bus. Our friendship started and was nothing short of love and adventure. our night walks from my home to buy kenkey and fish, and vice versa. I looked forward to visiting you in school so we could embark on our love walk to buy kenkey and fish. Thus, buying kenkey and fish together became our hallmark. In fact, I saw a father in you because you were the exact replica of my dad. You also confirmed that when you met my dad the first time, you knew you had a partner for life. I had no doubt you would be a loving and perfect father to our children. You were truly God sent. Your commitment and love were such that you proposed we got married on my birthday, and we have always had a double celebration on my birthdays, which I was looking forward to this year also. When we started having children, you were nothing short of a wonderful father. You were a great source of hope to me and the children. Despite your busy schedule as a medical doctor and later in your political roles, you either bathed the children every morning or dressed them up while I bathed them. You were their favorite teacher because you knew all their syllables back to back. You always had a straight timetable for their private studies, yet made room for play and adventure. You were truly a family man, a definition of a genuine person with a pure heart of gold. In our years of marriage, you always asked, Abner Rita, what will you do when I am not around? I never answered. Until today, I don't have an answer. I will, with God's help, take care of mommy and the 3 kids. Knowing who you are, I believe you will be looking down on us to guide us through from the heavens. Kofi B, thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving the children. Thank you for loving my family and all who came to know you. God be with you till we meet again. Rest in power, my love. Love always from your one and only Abner Rita.
So that's the tribute read on behalf of Mrs. Rita Omani Bama, the wife of the now late Dr. Edward Omani Bama, Ghana's Minister for Defense until last week, Wednesday. Let's hear someone else who was also on the spouse of another person who was on that flight with him, Mani Nampedu. Now his wife, Lieutenant Irajua Komi Cheme, read this tribute at the funeral today.
The evening of that horrible Wednesday, when I received the devastating news that I lost my beloved husband, I looked outside and I saw a ridiculously beautiful sunset. And I thought to myself, how dare the world continue? How dare everyone go about their evening when I didn't know what to do with myself? My husband was my everything. We met in 2022 on his birthday, and everyone will bear witness that we've been inseparable since then. People say that we spend too much time together because everywhere I am, my husband wants to be there with me. But only what we had, only we know the depth of what we experienced. Mani, what is this grief? And what am I supposed to do with it? Mani, what do I do without you? And how do I carry on from here? You were truly your name to me. You were my best friend. Who will respond just when I say cassette gist? Who will make my life comfortable now? Mani, please respond and answer me. This silence is too loud. I keep checking my phone for a message or a picture or a call. I have been checking since Wednesday. Everything feels surreal. And sometimes I expect you to walk in with that beautiful smile of yours. But I have been waiting since Wednesday. But I will tell your story. I will make sure that we continually remember you. You were considerate and attentive. You were very goofy. You cared for me. People say I'm carrying this thing well, but I'm here because you loved me and you loved me well. My darling, thank you so much for blessing my life with your brilliance. Thank you for sharing those few years with me. My correct better half, my lover, and my best friend. I hope you know I love you a lot more than these words can convey. I miss you. Mike Yankee Sierra Whiskey Echo Echo Tango, Bravo Alpha Bravo Yankee, Bravo Oscar Yankee, India Lima Oscar Victor Echo Yankee Oscar Uniform. My forever and a day, sleep well, my love. May the earth rest life. God be with you till we meet again.
That is the wife of the late Manin Ampedu, Lieutenant Irajwa Komi Treme, wife of Flying Officer Manin Kojo Chum Ampedu. That tribute she read at the Independence Square, or the Black Star Square today. Many came there to pay their last respect, led of course by the President of the Republic. Another person who was at the Independence Square, the Black Star Square today, is Minister for Communications and Digital Technology as well as Innovation. He is MP for Ningo Pram Pram. At the time Dr. Omani Buama was a deputy minister, the Honorable Samuel George was a staffer at the presidency. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Good evening to you, Mal, and good evening to our listeners.
Good evening to you. It must have been a very difficult one witnessing what you witnessed today in relation to your comrade.
Words to not even death for that those who leave behind would have not well. Just maybe harder for and the other I follow to the cemetery because even worse than me.
So the two of them, actually, well, you know all of them, but I mean, Mursala, you've known as a colleague minister, but Dr. Omani Buama, you've known before you even went to Parliament. How long ago since you knew Dr. Omani Buama? What kind of person or what kind of relationship did you have with him?
Omani was a person when team and then and got second didn't care about me and I would say I mean people in my life I mean he will hold me up was I had need for school, there questions for money. But apart from that,
Wow.
satisfied. And this is not just my test. Country whose lives are it doesn't you know even come if he had and he had, you know, and it's not should fortunate end.
Yeah, indeed. It's sad. They say the good ones go early. I mean, I've seen you share photos with you and late Murtala Muhammad as well. Moment with Murtala Muhammad as well and the others.
You know, Murtala has been a friend for even possibly longer than Omani. I remember when he got appointed as Deputy Minister for Information and then later Deputy for Trade. I remember that the day his announcement was made, I called him and congratulated him, and my wife even joked with him on the call and said to him, "Well, don't forget your brother." And we all joked, and it was like, "Oh, me and Sam, it's impossible." Murtala was the first person who made me appreciate the term comrade. I mean, it was a term we used loosely in the NDC, we're comrade, you know, and all of that, we're cadres. But for him, he said, "Don't call me honorable, I'm comrade." And Murtala's knowledge of history, our country's history, and both political and ideological, is very deep. I mean, at times, he would tell you things about individuals, political figures from our past, and you wonder how he had all of that information. Murtala's energy, I mean, and just today in the chamber, at the funeral, one of our colleague MPs said to me that, "Son, your partner is gone," because in the last parliament, when we were in the opposition, you would be in the office and you would realize that something is going on the floor, and you would either see me run into the chamber of Murtala. We were in our offices and we realized that the then majority, the NPP side, was doing something, and we just burst into the chamber. And when we burst into the chamber, we had this penchant for not even sitting down, not asking, not catching the speaker's eyes, and just start speaking. And everybody says, here they come, the musketeers. And you know, we had this line that Muntaka had set up. It had Murtala at one end of the line, and basically me on the other end of the line. And it was Murtala, Enesnobe, Edward Bauer, Alassane Suhimi, Yusuf Sulemana, MP for Bole, and then you had Roxanne and Adongo, myself, John Jinapo, and Nipe. It was that line. We called ourselves Muguyaros.
The powerful team from the back.
Absolutely. We called ourselves the Muguyaros, and everything from the election of Speaker Bagwin to the decision for Parliament not to sit for the last 2 weeks in that 8th Parliament, all of those was hatched by that team, and you can only hold fond memories because Murtala's energy, it's endless, it's boundless, But I guess he gave his life for something he felt so deeply about our environment, and we owe it to his memory to ensure that we protect the environment and fight everyone with all that's at the disposal of the state who seeks to destroy our environment.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, and the state gave him a befitting, and he and the other 7 a befitting funeral indeed, and we saw that today. They've been well celebrated, and may they rest well. Before you go, like one of the widows said today, how dare people continue to do their business when she was grieving after her husband has just passed? But the business of state has to continue, and you at your ministry before the accident was having some engagement with multi-choice, and you issued a directive that you were going to take action before 10th of August. I think it was 7th or 9th August that you said you were going to take action. But of course, that accident came and put everything off gear. But tonight we are learning that your ministry, and for that matter, the government has started taking some action against multi-choice Ghana. Can you please confirm for us that there's a fine imposed, and if you could give us details and why?
I made the decision public that the regulator was supposed to suspend the license of DSTV Ghana effective 7th of August. On the 7th of August, that suspension notice was given. So usually a day after the unfortunate crash, but like you said, the wheels of government have to continue. However, the way the law is structured is that when you issue the suspension notice, they have 30 days to comply. And then in that 30 days, they could remedy the situation. I think it's also a consumer protection consideration because you have people who may have subscriptions that are running. So the 30 days allows them to get value for what they paid, and then we'll enforce on the 6th of September the complete shutdown of the operations if they fail to remedy the issues we have raised, which is what we have deemed to be unfair pricing on the Ghanaian market. Before that announcement was made on the 7th of August, DSTV did a public statement asking for public engagement. The minority in Parliament also asked for engagement. And so, as a responsible and listening government, I asked the regulator. I said, well, I've had engagements. I've met with the management, both locally and headquarters management of MultiChoice. And so, there's nothing else to talk about. I said everything to them. But okay, if they wanted us to have further engagement, the regulator wrote to MultiChoice on the 4th of August demanding information, because I said if we're going to have any further engagement, I wanted to do it on the basis of 7 empirical facts. And so we wrote on the 4th of August to DSTV asking them to, within 24 hours, by the 5th, close of business on the 5th, provide us with the details of the pricing models for all the bouquets in Ghana. So compact, premium, compact plus. They should give us the pricing model, how they arrived at those prices, what is the tax component, and we also wanted them to furnish us with similar pricing models from their other operation markets. I think we specified 6 or 7 other markets. One would expect that since they are operating the business and they've been doing these models, they'll be able to just provide that information. But we got a letter on the 5th saying that they were unable to provide the information readily, and they wanted an extension till the 11th of August. I'm already scheduled to meet with them on the 8th. And so I said, well, if the information is not available, I can't meet you on the 8th. I'll meet you on the 14th. And so we postponed the meeting to the 14th. Now, per the law, when the MCA or the regulator makes a demand for information and you do not provide it, the law imposes a fine of 10,000 cedis per day. And in good faith, from the 5th, when they were supposed to submit their information and they didn't submit it till the 11th, I exercised discretion and asked the NCA not to impose the fine. I waited for the meeting yesterday. I had the meeting with them yesterday. As of yesterday, they had still not submitted the documentation that we requested. And in acting in the interest of the Ghanaian people, I've asked the regulator, starting effective today, begin the daily fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis until DSTV provides us the detailed breakdown of what makes up the cost. I can't, and I told them I can't have any further engagements with them until they provide me that information. Because if the argument is that they cannot reduce the prices, let's drill down to what is the components of the prices, what makes the price you're charging Ghana, the $83, $82 plus you're charging. What is in it? What is the cost of the service? What is the tax component? What is the profit margin? Let's see that breakdown. And then let's see what the cost is in Nigeria. Let's see what the cost is in Eswatini, in Angola, in South Africa. And then let's see if the tax component from Ghana that the government has put is the reason why we're paying $83. Then I will come back to the country and say, look, this is about taxes, and so we cannot blame multi-choice. Government will have to review its taxes. But if we look at the tax element, and even without the tax element, we realize we're paying more than the rest of the continent when the service that is being offered is the same across the continent, then there are questions that have to be asked. And when it comes to monopolies, I mean, I've heard this talk about free market economy. When it comes to monopolies, that's why we have regulators. Regulators are put in place to ensure that monopolies do not abuse the customers that they serve. And this regulator, the NCA, under my watch as minister, will protect the Ghanaian people, come rain or high water.
Did it appear to you as if they were not willing to provide you with this information you requested, or they asked for more time? So that were they refusing, or they just failed and were asking for more time to provide this information?
In all fairness to them, they said that for them, they wanted to provide us a consolidated response. And I asked what that meant, and they said they wanted to provide that information and then also respond to the 30-day suspension notice. And I said to them, the two are not connected in any way. The suspension notice is saying that you failed to apply yourselves to the request of the ministry. And per the terms of your license, I think Section 18 of their license, 18E or something, we have the power to suspend your license or revoke your license in the public interest or on national security grounds. And so we've invoked that clause and suspended it. If you have a reservation about that, that's completely different from the request for your pricing model. So this excuse of wanting to do a consolidated response, for me, I'm in no position to determine whether it is that they don't want to share or whether it is that they want to consolidate. But what I've been told is they want to consolidate. Whilst they seek to consolidate, I will enforce the laws of the land. We will find them 10,000. If it's on the 5th that they bring us a consolidated, we'll look at it. But on the 6th of September, if there is no resolution, we will stop all transmission by DSTV in the country.
And this is despite the fact that many people say it's a free market. Instead of removing them, bring them competition so that they will be forced to reduce the packages.
Unfortunately, that argument is an emotive one and it's not an intellectual one, because 80+% of DSTV subscribers subscribe to you because of the Premier League. Now, if that argument was to be intellectual, those making that argument will realize that you can't bring in a competitor because the Premier League sells its viewing rights in blocks. So there is one company, if someone wins the rights for West Africa, and it's sold in regional blocks, so West Africa, East Africa, North Africa, South Africa. So MultiChoice holds the rights for West Africa when it comes to satellite TV. So yes, there's an operator I engaged that has rights for North Africa and the Gulf. But even if I brought that operator in and facilitated a quick licensing regime so that there is not more than one operator, even though that operator has the rights to air the Premier League, they cannot air it in West Africa because the airing rights they have do not cover this region. So you are stuck with a monopoly. And once it's a monopoly, you need to act. Those who say free market economy, I mean, when they read the economic theories, they should read it properly. Even in the United States, the U.S. government does not sit down and allow private sector businesses to just operate freely. Trump is imposing tariffs on businesses. It's not a free market economy. Why shouldn't you tell Trump that he should stop imposing tariffs and allow for free market economies in America? American businesses should compete on the free market economy. Why is Trump fighting Huawei and TikTok? American company Ericsson, Trump is trying to push that because it's an American company and is banned Huawei from any government contract in that has to do with defense and the U.S. government. Is that not a free market economy?
Okay, what about the other question that DSTV is for a privileged few, so that it is a luxury channel that people subscribe to? Let those people worry about DSTV. If it was a national broadcaster, then you can say everybody has to benefit from GTV, so yes. But DSTV is only few people who buy it because they think they can, and let those people deal with whatever they want to do. What do you say to that argument as well?
My response to that argument is they should go and check the results on the 7th of December 2024. John Dramani Mahama got the most resounding victory in the history of this country, in the history of our politics. Nobody has that kind of margin, a 2/3 majority in Parliament. That will mean that it is not only people who are in the lower class who voted for him. Lower class people voted for him, middle class people voted for him, upper class people voted for him. As his Minister for Communication, I am minded that his mandate is to the Ghanaian people and not just one class of Ghanaians. And so when I worked on data prices, I didn't think about middle class or upper class. And we could as well say that we shouldn't have worked on data prices to get Ghanaians a better data price, because again, if you want to browse Facebook or something, you can as well pick a photo and go to your friend's house instead of sending him a message on Facebook. Facebook is a luxury, it's not a necessity. Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok are not necessities. But we fought for that for every Ghanaian, irrespective of your class. President Mahama is president for every Ghanaian, irrespective of class in society. And as his minister, I reflect his governance style.
Okay.
He would work in the interest of everybody. And you know, the young man in Dawina who runs a DSTV viewing center is not a middle class person. He will not be classed as a middle class person. He earns a living from that. And so that service affects someone who is not upper class or middle class. And so those who make that argument have not averted their mind to the fact that there are people who you may want to call a class lower class who depend on this service, not as a luxury, but as a way to pay their children's fees and take their parents, buy the medication for their parents. And I must act in the interest of every Ghanaian.
Finally, that person in Dawenya who runs a DSTV center, you can describe him as a secondary employee of DSTV or MultiChoice. Have you considered the thousands of secondary employees and the thousands of primary employees with DSTV? If they decide to pack bag and baggage and leave, or if we ask them to leave, the consequence of their exit, one, on employment of our own people, and two, the fact that if they leave, there will be a void. And people are even saying that then we'd have to then start using decoders from Nigeria. Have we thought of the consequence? How would we deal with those consequences? The employment and the alternative platforms that we don't have when they exit.
Well, You see, there are many ways to kill. And as Minister for Communications, I won't stand on radio and begin to talk about multiple options of still viewing the Premier League. But today's the technology that exists and the kinds of IPTVs that we have, there are several options available to people. One. Two, Nigerian decoders here, that's cross-border piracy. That's another issue I raised with MultiChoice that they don't care about. But that is them literally stealing money from the Ghanaian exchequer. Because when they allow cross-border piracy on their platform, those decoders are being used in Ghana. The service and broadcast satellites is being beamed from Ghana. However, no tax revenue comes to the Ghanaian taxman. And MultiChoice gets paid anyway. So they don't care about it. And so that for me is a national security consideration. A company that is creating pathways for loss of state revenue is not a friend of the state. Now, whichever ways we go, if I turn a blind eye to the exorbitant price, like my predecessor had done and allowed for the kind of increases that went unchecked, do you know how many of these viewing centers have shut down? Or how many of these viewing centers have increased their price from what used to be 50 pesos to now 5 cedis, in some places 10 cedis, and the Ghanaian can still not afford it. And so there's a price whichever way you go. We believe that it's in the collective interest of all of Ghana that we set the benchmark and say that enough of the fleecing of Ghanaians. And the other day on another platform I saw a post from an economist who said, if you want to do business in sub-Saharan Africa and make maximum profit, the best destination is Ghana, because they are very easy people to fleece. So the reset agenda is here to deal with that. And leading from the communication ministry, they would stop anybody who chooses to fleece the Ghanaian taxpayer.
And on the unemployment bit?
Well, like I said, there's always a price to pay. And I empathize fully with the staff of DSTV, but again, let's just put on record, DSTV MultiChoice is on its way out anyway. They have been the competition commission in South Africa has given approval for a September 15th takeover by Canal Plus. That has they have up to October 8th. So whichever ways they're on their way out, I'm sure Canal Plus will be minded to engage with us on more favorable terms. And so, as we say in our language, the Dango language, Umaro, Omacho Google, Sebi Kafla, no Okamafu Funo, because we can call doing knowledge in my prayer. To it, you close your nose and farm a land that has seizures on it, because you know that land is fertile. So I empathize with the Ghanaian workers of MultiChoice. And I urge them to stand with us as Ghanaians, that the right thing be done. It's just a matter of time. We will win this battle. History will be on our side.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Mara.
That's Honorable Samuel Nate George. He's Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram and Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation. Apia Adomako Kose is with West Africa Regional. He's a West Africa Regional Director of CATS International. They have been involved in this issue around DSTV and the standoff with the Ministry of Communications. Mr. Adomako Kose, welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yeah, good evening, Omaru, and good evening to your listeners.
The issues have gotten to a head now. There's a fine that has been imposed on DSTV, 10,000 cedis daily, until they provide the data that has been requested for by the minister. And I just finished speaking to the minister. If they have to go, they have to go. That would be the end game, so that we get better service, unless they agree to stop fleecing Ghanaians, his words. That would be so they could exit if they so wish. It almost sounds as if he's saying we would live and get a better package from a different competitor or whatever would happen. Should we go that route and say let them go if they will not listen?
Omaro, I think that if MultiChoice leaves Ghana, it will neither help MultiChoice, neither would it also help Ghana. when you look at the total subscription you pay for each bouquet, about a third of our subscription fee, that is about 27-28%, goes to government in the form of taxes. That's the VAT and communication service taxes. Looking at this year, for example, the Minister of Finance said that because the city has appreciated, the revenue flow at the Potema Port has gone down substantially. And so some of these revenue from multi-choice, other ones, are also required to be able to plug in the hole. Likewise, if multi-choice also leaves Ghana, there's also going to affect their global income. When you look around the continent, the company is not doing well across. Ghana is one of the few countries that they are posting profit. And so for multi-choice, I'm sure they need the Ghanaian market, because if they leave the Ghanaian market, by the time that they come, somebody would have come to replace them, and it will be difficult for them to re-enter and compete favorably. And so two elephants arguing on this matter will not help neither the elephant, neither will it also help the ground. So I think for me, the Minister of Communications and multi-choice still need to find a way. And I still believe that the onus lies on multi-choice, because they are the one that they are the one who are not complying with directives. The minister first wrote to them, asking them to reduce their prices. They didn't do it, and then now they are giving them 30 days. Within the 30 days, they also have been asked to provide information. I'm sure that information that the minister is requiring for multi-choice is not trade secret nor intellectual property rights that they cannot make it to the minister in a day or two. So I think that the problem lies with multi-choice. They should be able to make peace. They should be able to negotiate with the government, bring their prices down. Ghanaians need them, and they also need the Ghanaian market.
You want negotiations, but it appears that we've long passed, or that ship has long sailed. The minister has made his position clear. They should either provide the information or keep losing money. And if they believe they want to pack and go, they could do so. At this stage, it appears the ball is in the court of multi-choice, isn't it?
Yes, the ball is in the court of multi-choice to come forward with two things. One, providing the information on the price build-up in Ghana and other countries, and two, also responding to the 30 days regulatory notice that has been given to them. But for the minister is waiting for the multi-choice to respond. But I think that we also don't know the game plan of multi-choice, whether they want to leave the market. But I'm not sure they want to leave the market, because Ghana is a market that nobody wants to exit this market. And so the multi-choice again needs to soften their heart and see Ghana as a market that they shouldn't exit. And as I said, we need them. They also need Ghana. Of course, we wouldn't want to say that we've gone past the point of negotiation. In World War II, for example, people have to still sit down and negotiate to bring the World War II down. So even today, for example, Putin and Russia and Trump, they are meeting in Alaska as a way of ending the war in Iraq. And so I think there's always a gap for negotiation in good faith. At least I can say that multi-choice has not demonstrated good faith with regards to this whole matter. When the minister made a non-harmful request to them to reduce their tariffs by 30%, they could have even come to the minister and say, look, 30% is not possible. When we look into our cost, but we can do 20%. And I believe that the minister would have accepted that request. But they came back, wrote about 8 pages, trying to dismiss the whole suggestion that is coming from the minister. And now that is where we have gone. They are hemorrhaging 10,000 Ghana cedis a day, and we don't know what's going to portend. But I think that the whole government machinery, private sector, civil society, consumers may also have to come in and urge both sides to move towards the point of negotiation and agreement that at the end of the day will bring a win-win for both parties.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you, Omaro.
That's Apia Adumaku Kusi. He's West Africa Regional Director for CATS International.
Be there as it happens.
Still unbeatable. Republic Bank has slashed the Citi mortgage interest rate to a new low. That means it's more affordable to own your dream home. You enjoy lower monthly installments, save on interest payments, flexible loan arrangements, and more. Make the move. Own your home at a lower teen interest rate. But hurry, this offer lasts for a limited time. Visit any Republic Bank branch or send email to myhome@republicghana.com or call Accra 054-0109-649. Kumasi 054-0109-901 to apply today and enjoy a teen interest rate. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025, a celebration of excellence in locally made goods and services. This year's exhibition brings together the very best that Ghana has to offer, from timeless traditional crafts to cutting-edge innovations. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, this is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. Join us in championing Ghanaian talent, creativity, and authenticity. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Info Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205-973-973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, Ecobank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Build Financial Technologies, and Trillium Industrial Company.
It's your day off and you end up looking after the baby while your wife goes off to work. You realize you have no idea how to change a diaper. So you video call your wife.
Hello, darling.
Hello,
Kojo, is everything alright?
Everything is alright. I'm not seeing Topo. How do I change that baby's diaper, please?
Kojo. Okay, first, put the diaper.
The video call freezes. While you wait for the internet to catch up, the baby sprouts a fountain and wets the diaper. As you are getting a new one, your wife comes back online.
Kojo, no!
But I have to go and get a new diaper. What must I do next? I beg, quick.
Open the front of the diaper. It's the side that has...
Wow, look, the video freezes again. Abba.
By now, you know where the conversation is going. There's no buffering in real life, so why accept it from your internet connection? Get connected and experience ultra-fast internet to your home, powered by MTN Fiber Broadband. From the Internet Masters.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamod here with Eno Safo. Celebrating the life of the 8 persons who perished in that helicopter crash last week, who were given a state funeral today. Let me go on the phone line and speak to someone who knows the late Dr. Omani Bama, perhaps more than many. During the Kufuor era, there was a pressure group known as Committee for Joint Action. Veteran journalist Kwesi Pratt Jr. was part of that particular group, and Dr. Omani Bama, recall, was also part of CJA. So we've called up Uncle Kwesi on the line to have a conversation with him about the late Dr. Omani Bama. Uncle Kwesi, good evening and welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Thank you for joining us. We are celebrating Dr. Omani Bama, and when we did our digging, we were told you have known him quite well and for a long time now, from the days that he was with you at the Committee for Joint Action. We're just asking, who was Dr. Omani Bama? How did you get to know him? What kind of person was he?
Well, as a matter of fact, I knew him before we formed the Committee for Joint Action. At the time that I got to know him, he was a student activist, and he eventually became president of the National Union of Ghana Students. And the remarkable thing about him then was that, in spite of the fact that he was a card-bearing member of the New Patriotic Party, he was able to take the government on several issues concerning students, specifically on the GET Fund and its distribution. And I was so impressed by his commitment to the student movement and so on. So when we formed the Committee for Joint Action, we were very careful not to create the impression that it was an appendage of any political party. So it became important to take measures to make it look as a neutral, independent, organization which was engaged in a struggle against hardship. And I persuaded other members of the committee to do a recruitment, and they all agreed that we should recruit Omani Bama. So I did speak to Omani Bama, and he agreed to read the very first statement at the first press conference of the Committee for Joint Action. He became very active in the committee and eventually found his way into the National Democratic Congress. Now, the other significant thing about Omani Bama is that he was a guy who brought in people like Kujato Ablakwa, Felix Oposukwachi, and others into the Committee for Joint Action. And he was very effective. I mean, he was very, very effective. He was intellectually very deep and so on. I also happen to have known him as a medical officer. And I had a condition, I was getting malaria practically every month. I had been to several hospitals, I'd done so many tests for about a year or more. And I was still getting this persistent malaria. Omani was then doing his housemanship at 37 Military Hospital. And I contacted him and explained my position to him. And Omani told me that, well, as far as he was concerned, there was only one remedy. And he recommended that I should go on Camoquin, which at that time was not in use. No medical officer would prescribe Camoquin for you. That was the days of the artesunate and so on. Some doctors even advised me not to take his prescription. I took his prescription, and since then, I don't remember the last time I had malaria. So he influenced me in many ways, also as a medical practitioner. There was another occasion when a very close relative of mine was wasting away. I mean, she became so thin, she couldn't even lift her hand back. We had to carry her into the car and so on. And I went to see Omani Bama to discuss the condition. And Omani Bama recommended a medical practitioner, Nilante Blankson, that I'm sure you know about. He told me that Nilante Blankson was a doctor's doctor and so on. So we got into conferencing, and on the first meeting, Dr. Blankson thought that what was affecting my relative could be sarcoidosis. Now, mind you, sarcoidosis is a very rare disease. It occurs 1 in a million or so, and only affects people who live around airports and train stations and so on. But then eventually it was confirmed that my relative was suffering from sarcoidosis. And sarcoidosis had a very simple, inexpensive, common treatment. And my relative recovered after 6 weeks and so on. So I knew Omani Bama that way, as a student activist, as a political activist, and also as a medical doctor. And I've related to him since then. Indeed, when he joined the National Democratic Congress, the person who was most influential in his life was Mr. Tuahoe. He eventually became Mr. Tuahoe's son, and Mr. Tuahoe gave him guidance and so on. And he has risen to become what he became,
It's sad that he went the way he went. I don't know if you have a message to his family and also to Ghanaians as a whole, because he was our defense minister, before you take leave of us.
Well, he died in the line of duty. No doubt he died in the line of duty. And I think that those of us who want to honor him, who want to honor his memory, should carry on the fight which took his life. And that is the fight against Galamsey. Galamsey has had a very devastating effect on the national life. Cocoa production, for example, has gone down by about 50%, and we know that Galamsey is largely responsible for the reduction in our figures, cocoa production figures, and so on. The medical experts are reporting that many children are being born deformed. Some are being born without eyes, some are being born without arms, and so on, in the Galamsey-infected areas. We also know about the poisoning of food, the high level of arsenic in food which is produced in these areas. And then we know about our waters and how our water bodies have been destroyed and so on. If we truly respect Omani Bama, if we truly believed that it was worth the honor that all of us are showering on him, we should renew our commitment to fighting against Galamsey. If we fail to fight against Galamsey and defeat Galamsey, I think it will be a huge dishonor to the memory of Omani Bama and all those who died in the helicopter crash.
Indeed. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's Uncle Chrissy Pratt Jr. He's a veteran journalist, a member of a group that used to be called CJA, Committee for Joint Action, a pressure group many years ago, a group that Dr. Omani Bama was a part of. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Today at the funeral, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces spoke and mentioned a lot of interventions that the government plans to make in the lives of the relatives of the 8 persons who died as a result of that helicopter crash last week. One of them is the promotion posthumously of these persons who've died. Let's listen to the President.
Can sometimes leave us feeling helpless and disempowered. But we're far from that. So it is with all this in mind that I would like today to announce the government's decisions to honor the service of these individuals and secure the futures of those they left behind. I humbly request the spirit of compassion that is the hallmark of our nation for these bereaved families. Promotions in our armed forces are never given lightly, and posthumous promotions are the highest mark of respect for duty performed even unto death. Accordingly, I have approved the following. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala is promoted to the rank of Wing Commander. Flying Officer Manan Chum Ampedu is promoted to the rank of Flight Lieutenant. Sergeant Ernest Adomensa is promoted to the rank of Flight Sergeant. These are not just symbolic gestures. They represent the rightful place these officers have earned in our Republic's role of honor, and the benefits due to their families will be reflected in these new ranks. The Chief of the Defense Staff will oversee the ceremonial presentation of the posthumous promotion insignias to their families. Our other colleagues who were civilians will be posthumously recognized at the next National Honors Ceremony. The next decision that the government has made is for the creation of a Children's Support Fund for the children of the victims of the 6th August helicopter crash. The purpose of this fund is clear. It is to ensure that the children left behind will never be deprived of the opportunities, the care, and the security that their parents worked so hard to provide for them.
That's President John Dramani Mahama. Before we go for business news, fuel prices in Ghana are set for a mixed adjustment in the second pricing window of August, with petrol and liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) expected to edge up, while diesel sees a marginal drop. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies projects petrol prices at the pump will rise between 0.39% and 2.71%, with LPG increasing by 0.15% to 2.34%. Diesel, however, is forecast to decline slightly by 0.21% to 0.72% from August 16. In a statement, the association attributed the shift to varied trends in global petroleum product prices, a marginal depreciation of the Citi against the US dollar, and product-specific supply and demand dynamics. COMAC noted that the projected pump prices broadly align with prevailing global market trends, with only minimal increases anticipated for petrol and LPG in the upcoming window.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s. You lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds, "Hello, Kwame." You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our express points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, now what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so
this is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a full the Gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inosafo. Let's settle for the details. Ghana's workforce is running on a treadmill, moving between jobs, but making little real progress as economic growth continues to fall short of generating enough decent, well-paying employment. This is according to the World Bank's latest Ghana economic update. The report reveals that between 2012 and 2023, the country gained 720,000 jobs in industry and services, but lost 470,000 in agriculture.
According to the update, urban areas absorbed 2.4 million more working age people, yet real wages slipped by 3% over the decade. Many workers, the bank says, remain stuck in low productivity, low income, and insecure positions despite the economy's expansion. The challenges are deepening. Job creation is trailing population growth. Youth participation in workforce is falling, and an estimated 1 million young Ghanaians now live abroad. According to the bank, the problem is most acute for medium-skilled sectors such as manufacturing, construction, and domestic services. Education, once a clear route to better livelihoods, is also delivering diminishing returns as the supply of educated workers outpaces the availability of quality jobs. Women continue to face significant pay and opportunity gaps, with most concentrated in lower productivity activities. With Ghana's working age population set to expand by 4.8 million to hit 25.3 million in the next decade, the World Bank is urging bold reforms to boost private investment, raise productivity, and create more pathways from school to work.
Emmanuel Opon with that business desk report. Still from the World Bank, it is pressing Ghana to push through with reforms at the Ghana Cocoa Board and the state-run Electricity Company of Ghana to address mounting financial strain and operational inefficiencies. Cocoa Board is saddled with substantial arrears to suppliers, while ECG continues to post heavy losses despite repeated government interventions. World Bank Country Director Robert O'Brien issued the call during the launch of the bank's 9th Ghana Economic Update, which examined labor market challenges and opportunities.
In agriculture, COCOBOD, the agency responsible for cocoa, also faces financial instability. Despite high global cocoa prices, Ghana's cocoa production is weak, and COCOBOD owes large amounts to its suppliers. Its involvement in activities beyond its main business, also known as quasi-fiscal operations, further increases financial risks. To address these challenges and protect Ghana's financial future, it is crucial to strengthen oversight and accountability in both the energy and agricultural sectors. This will help reduce risks and ensure long-term stability. The situation is thus urgent. Each month that reforms are delayed results in significant additional losses for the nation. We are thus hoping to see decisive action very soon on both ECG and COCOBOD.
Robert O'Brien is World Bank Country Director for Ghana. Government is being urged to provide targeted support for entrepreneurial initiatives that can accelerate Ghana's economic transformation and align with its 24-hour economy agenda. According to Professor Stephen Mahama Brima, Senior Lecturer at the Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship at the University of Ghana Business School, such support will empower local entrepreneurs to and operates within the extended economic framework being rolled out. Speaking at the climax of the 2025 edition of the University of Ghana Business School Management Week, Professor Brimer emphasized the importance of adaptive entrepreneurship in shaping Ghana's future economy.
For our economy to succeed, our entrepreneurs must succeed. And for entrepreneurs to succeed, they need very innovative marketing strategies. And we know that with the aid of technology and the fact that the whole world we are in different time zones, having a business that runs 24/7 is the way to go. And now that Ghana has decided to go that way, we find this topic or theme for our celebration very apt. They support one part of us, and we are calling our governments and our authorities to help the young minds with the energy to try to create things that would employ people instead of they becoming employees, to support them with whatever resources, whatever policy and ecosystem that they may require to enable them create the jobs that we need, to bring out the dollar that we need so that the nation can be built.
Professor Stephen Mahama Brima is Senior Lecturer at the Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship at the University of Ghana Business School. Just before I go, administrators of local startup funds designed to scale up youth-led SMEs are being urged to enhance their communication strategies to improve access to capital. The German International Corporation notes that despite numerous interventions by both government and the private sector, greater awareness is still needed to ensure more young entrepreneurs entrepreneurs can take advantage of available funding opportunities. Emmanuel Mumini, Component Manager at GIZ, made these remarks at the Next Gen Opportunities Forum 2025 in Accra.
There's a lot of opportunity, but there isn't noise made about them. On the other hand, we also have lots of startups that are not actively seeking these opportunities out. And so when we run programs, we find the same groups of startups and businesses applying for the same opportunities. But we do know that there's a bigger pool of startups that are not engaging with us. So it would be on both sides to create more awareness about it using different sources, like even your platform as well, but also to entreat startups to be the initiators of reaching out to the administrators of this fund.
Emmanuel Mumuni is the Component Manager at GIZ. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ino Safo. Up next is Point Blank.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so
this is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it will protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind says be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
So where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you have my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
And Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Oh, me had the truck driver. Had they road top before most people go come up for them a house. For me, energy be purpose.
I'm a working mom. I drop my kids at school and head straight to the office. The car, the fuel, it keeps our day in motion. For me, energy is support.
At Misa Energy, formerly Engine Ghana, we keep Ghana moving no matter wherever you're headed to. For us, energy is progress. Energy is possibility. Energy is innovation. Misa Energy, fueling your dreams, putting you first. Visit your nearest Misa station today.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
I am Umaru Sandamado. It's a sad day indeed, a day that Ghanaians laid to rest 8 persons who died in the line of duty following a helicopter crash in Obuasi in the Ashanti region last week, Wednesday. A funeral service and a burial service was organized today for 6 of the 8. 2 2 were buried on Sunday. The government prior to today took tributes from the general public, but at the event today, tributes were read by spouses of the departed, or was read on their behalf, and their children too. There were tributes from the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jinopokwa-Jima. The National Democratic Congress, NDC, which party the departed belonged to, especially the politicians. So we're going to bring you some of the tributes. We start with the wife of Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. We also hear from the wife of the late squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala. And then we hear a tribute by the wife of Dr. Samuel Sapon and Samuel Abuaje, both read on their behalf. So let's listen.
In heavenly love abiding, no change my heart shall fear, and safe in such confiding, for nothing changes here. The storm may roll without me, my heart may low be laid, but God is round about me, and can I be dismayed? I take these comforting words from the Methodist Hymn Book 528. To my biggest cheerleader, the kindest of hearts, my big brother and my manche. Putting words together for your tribute is the hardest task I have ever been given. My heart aches beyond words, thinking of not seeing your beautiful receptionist smile, as you called it, or hearing you call me Manye 100 times in a day. You gave me the experience of being deeply understood, genuinely supported, and utterly loved. You often said, Manye, I'll give us a life that many people would wish to be in your shoes. Manche, these shoes you put on me, no one wishes to wear. Should I say you lied? No. Because I know if you had control over life, you would choose to live 1,000 years just to make me happy. Anyone who knew you attests to the exceptional humility you had, hard work and pure dedication to service, earning you the name Ejumera. The Z9 helicopter was like your first child, and in every conversation you would find a way to bring it up. You would spend long nights reading and researching on how to care for it. Amusingly, I suggested we get married on your birthday, 5th July, so you would never forget our anniversary. But life had other plans. Now I am the one who would never forget that day. Dada Kobe, what would I do with all these memories that lay so fresh in my heart and mind? Though we were married for just a month, the few years of knowing you were undoubtedly the best moments of my life. Your love for God was unmatched, and I affectionately called you my apostle. Your favorite Bible verse, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 10. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. Manche, it's been days, and you have not called at 5 a.m. for us to pray. On the morning of the Wednesday, I called you and I told you that I woke up very sad. I do not know why. Immediately, the first solution to everything, which was prayer, was what you suggested. You prayed and you said you had a flight to Obuasi and you'll be back. I'm still waiting. I do not know for how long I would continue waiting, but I'll still wait. Shame on you, death. You have not won. Christ has. Because Ernest died knowing him as his Lord and Savior. I was oblivious that death would take you so soon. But meeting you has shown me that angels truly exist in human form. You will forever be my hero. Forever in my thoughts, never to die. Continue to rest in the bosom of our Lord till we meet again. Goodbye, my love.
A tribute to my beloved husband. Bafemi, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3 that there is a time for everything under the sun. A time for planting and a time for harvest. A time to be born and a time to die. But Peter, this is not the time the Bible spoke about. Bafemi, as I affectionately called you, was my answered prayer. From the moment I met him, my life has never been the same. My husband was a hard-working man. I have never seen a person more dedicated to his work. Peter told me he would never allow me lift a finger because he would lift both hands for us. And true to his word, I have not had to struggle for anything. Peter took care of his family just as he took care of his friends. He did everything to make sure my life was comfortable. My husband was a go-to person for everyone who knew him, sacrificing and laying down his life to come through for anyone in need. Anyone who knows Peter knows that he would go hungry for the sake of his loved ones. 2 months ago, when he held my hand in the delivery room, through the birth of our beautiful baby girl, Winle Weswamo Anala, we had new hope for our future and expectations for our family and the life we wanted her to have. I expected you to stay for at least a month to help settle into our new reality. But for the love you had for our country, you had only just a week to spend with us. Before you left, Winle held you back for an extra week because she wasn't feeling well. Now I know why she was holding you back from returning to Ghana. But for your dedication to your work, you had to make the most difficult sacrifice to go and serve your country, leaving behind a sick new baby and a mother who was still healing. Peter, 2 weeks only. Oh, what 2 weeks those were. 2 weeks of endless kisses on baby Winle's face. I have never seen a broader smile than the little time you spent with her. I did not want you to leave, but you promised me you would come rain or shine. You would return in October for Winle's christening. God, what am I going to tell her in a few years when she starts asking for her father? How do I explain the hardships she's about to face being fatherless? It was not the life we've planned for her. We brought her into this world. How do I keep her from learning your traumatic last moments? How do I give her the life we planned for her, all alone? Every morning you will record a video of yourself telling me how your day would be and all the exciting things and places you would go. My love, I'll call you back when we are back in Accra. Love you. Those cannot be the last words you ever said to me. I am missing the full morning videos. Kindly send me all the videos you have not sent since the 7th of August. Bafemi, you have left me broken. This was not the plan, Peter. This was not it. Bafemi, please come back. Please, come and hold me and tell me this was all a very terrible nightmare and that is all over now. I am supposed to be consoled with the fact that you died knowing God and that there is rest for you until we meet again. But I cannot come into terms with this. I will forever cherish the moments I spent with you. I certainly cannot wait for that glorious reunion. But for me, my love, Jenny will. Due Nanlini, Inyi Lairani. I love you.
I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4, verses 7. My beloved husband, my friend, my pillar, it is with a heavy heart that I share this tribute, still struggling to believe that you are truly gone. You were not just my husband, you were my partner in every sense of word. You stood by me in love and in faith, and under every difficult circumstance. You challenged me to walk through the journey of life through the 37 years of marriage. You were a man of strength, wisdom, and compassion for me and the family. I watched you admirate and give all your all to the family, your people, and the country. You were more than a public servant. It was your love and your devotion at home that made me truly extraordinary. You made your home a place of peace, a kingdom of life, a home of happiness that breathed and reinforced the bond of your unity. You cared for us with such gracious love and led us with a determined heart. You prayed with us, dreamed with us, and stood by us no matter the season. I will forever cherish the quiet moments we shared, the dreams we built, and the love that we nurtured over the years. Your absence is a deep wound in my heart, but your love will still comfort me. I will still remember the call you put through to me early hours of the dark Wednesday, indicating that you were leaving for Obuasi on a national assignment. You said you were going to return. It was a return journey. I'm still looking forward and welcoming you back home. My dear husband, your departure was so sudden and I still can't believe it. The news of your departure continues to cut through my nerves from a vacuum of unimaginable pain in the heart. Oh, Sapon Kumenkuma, do you hear my call? Come back. Tell me this news is not true. The day is so gloomy. The sun is gone. The weather is thick. Darkness is falling, and the place is empty. Hear our voice. Hear our voice. Your wife and your children need you, my dear husband. We can hear the sound of your footsteps in the house, offering protection for your family. Your presence represented hope, words and breathed love, and work joy and happiness. You run a good race, my husband. May the doors of heaven open until we meet again. Rest well, my lovely husband, Sapon Kumenkuma. Demi Feji Tneye.
Tributes there from the now widows of the eight who departed through that helicopter crash last week Wednesday. May they rest in peace. That will be it for Eyewitness News tonight. We'll be back on Monday, God willing. Thank you and have a great weekend.